All right, and we are back with the Pursuit of Ownership. I am your co-host Tyler Tolbert, and I am on with the one and only Payton Keller. Payton, it's been a little while since we recorded. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. It's always good to be back. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so Payton and I have actually been getting a lot of FaceTime recently. Been getting some physical FaceTime instead of doing it virtually, so it's a little bit weird to see him on the screen again. But it's
Not a
a
fan.
welcome return.
Not a fan of this face stuff. This screen stuff. In person is definitely much better.
Yeah, you definitely look a lot better in person. I got to say, the camera does not like you.
I don't get that a lot, so I appreciate it.
Sure. Before we go any further, I have to address something that I have deep shame and regret for. So, on the recent episode that I did with George, where we were reviewing the Pursuit of Ownership 1 year anniversary, I name dropped all of my TPO task force members. And I was really excited to do that and really happy to do it. And I thought I was doing an awesome service to them. And, they all deserve it so much. And then listening back to it, I realized I forgot a name. So I wanted to give her a special shout out. Glinda Ives de la Paz. She is an absolutely wonderful D3 down in Florida. I forget which school she's actually at. Do you remember that? There's like a couple Florida schools. I never forget.
In and around Florida, that's the important part.
The one in Florida.
Yeah.
And she's a really, really awesome student down there. Her wax ups are literally prosthodontist level, which amazes me because I didn't think that a lot of the people that would be in the Pursuit of Ownership task force would be that great at waxing. I feel like people kind of find themselves in different parts of the spectrum, but usually people that are really good at waxing up are not listening to business type podcasts. There's not a whole lot of overlap there usually, but her and her husband are super dedicated Share Praxis listeners and have some really ambitious goals, for once she graduates from school. And I felt terrible to leave her off. I had made a list. She was on it somewhere. Somehow I skipped it, and I just feel terrible. So glad to finally air that out. And she's getting additional airtime, more so than her other colleagues. So I'm happy to do it, Glinda.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is even better. You got your own episode now. You're not sharing it with everyone else. It's all about her. So
right. Yeah. I didn't forget it. I just wanted to mention her specifically in a subsequent episode. So surprise.
it's perfect.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted. I felt bad too that Payton wasn't able to get in on the action for that because a lot needed to be said for him. Stepping up to the plate. About halfway through that first year, Payton kind of got brought on and really sprouted his wings a lot quicker than I would expect anyone to. And I didn't even have to push him out of the nest. He kind of took on solo episodes and has done a really great job with the show. So Payton, I got to congratulate you too. This is your 1 year anniversary as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. It's been an awesome journey so far.
Yeah, for sure. Payton and I had a kind of a special moment this past weekend, in fact. So the two of us, as well as our good friend Alyssa Mancini, we're at the Implant Pathway Symposium in Arizona, and we had a listener come up to us, and I don't know whether or not he would care if he were named, but Liam Register came up to us and said, "Hey, you were the guys from Shared Practices, right?" And that was one of our first touches of pseudo fame, I think. So big shout out to Liam for coming up to us. That definitely made our day, made our weekend. We were really excited about that and got to sit down with him and talk about his recent practice purchase and what his first few weeks have been like. And it was really cool. We'll probably have him on sometime to share a little bit about that. Every time we have a story like that, it really means a lot to us. And for us to be recognized at a conference like that was pretty cool, I think. How'd that make you feel, Payton?
No, it was super, super cool. And like you were saying, that's definitely the first time someone's came up to me, someone that I have no connection to previously, and be like, "Hey, you guys are the guy, the guys on that show." Yeah. So it's just a super funny feeling, but super cool too. And it was actually super funny. So within the same week, I also had probably like 3 or 4 people from my school reach out to me, and they're like, "Dude, like, what the heck? You're the guy on that podcast." And
yeah,
it's just it's such an odd feeling, but it's it's really cool to be able to in a position where you can help people out,
Mhm.
achieve what they want to, and yeah, it's just really cool to receive messages like that, or to
Mhm.
have people come up and introduce themselves. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm just like really grateful to have the opportunity for that because I mean this is not really fame, right? Like it's a very small pond. Like in the small like cottage industry of dentistry, there's even a much smaller subset that actually like listens to this kind of stuff and would know hosts and co-hosts of shows well enough to like recognize them in public. So I'm really thankful for that. That's definitely not why we do it. I think it's mostly just for having the opportunity to reach out to people with like minds and get ideas from them and just try and benefit others. I mean, it sounds like a selfless act, and in some ways, it can be sometimes. We definitely lend our time the best we can and try to be generous about it. But I think the both of us really have just benefited so much from being a part of this community. And the share practice community is insane. It's just full of tons of young guns, and people are just out there doing things that are far above most people's expectations for what young dentists and dental students will get into. And so, yeah, I'm just super happy for it.
Yeah, it's been a great journey, like I was saying. And another thing too, you said that I kind of got acclimated, into this role quicker than you would have expected, which I'm not sure if that's a backhanded compliment or not, but I'll take it.
I said
But
quicker than I would have expected anyone to do it, not you.
I just a couple words,
I was
get tripped
careful
up on.
with my
Um,
phraseology there.
but
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is too, like, so you were kind of the first one to go through it. You really didn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of.
Mhm.
I mean, the show was fresh; it was new. You were working with Clay and Aaron a little bit,
Yeah.
uh, but for the most part, you're kind of putting most of the weight on your shoulders. Whereas with me, I could kind of bounce ideas off you, and I feel like that was very very instrumental to getting into the swing of things. Um, it just having someone to talk to is really it's just very important.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we can both. I mean, we've both been through similar processes with trying to get up to speed on the show and everything. And I'm not sure if I did as good of a job as George did in getting me acclimated to things, because he was very patient with me. I don't think I was quite as patient with you. Honestly, your first solo episode was kind of just like a scheduling conflict for me. We'll see how he does. Ultimately, we can re-record or something if it's bad, but you did wonderfully, and I can always count on you now. So that's awesome. Interestingly enough, I don't know if I should be dropping this or not, but just a couple days ago, Richard reached out to us, and he said that there were some aspiring young dentists that were interested in getting equipped to do some podcasting. They wanted to share their stories, and they were really just reaching out to Richard for gear advice. And Richard, of course, the founder, the visionary that he is, he saw an opportunity for some potential for someone else to come on the show and get on the microphone and share their stories. And I'm not going to name them just yet. We'll kind of see how things pan out, but I'm kind of excited for it. They're a little bit more in the startup world, which I know that throughout the history of TPO and the greater story of share practices, we haven't talked a whole lot about startups or been terribly warm on them. But you know what? We still get questions about them all the time. And we've seen some wonderfully successful ones. And I think when the method is applied well enough, it can go really well. So I think it'll be pretty cool to have some of that on the show.
Yeah, I think it definitely would be good to have some startup content on here. And kind of as George has joked around about the startup season, really it wasn't our strong suit. I'm pretty sure you guys touched on this when you guys did your recap episode. So I think it's going to be really great that we're going to have some fresh
Mhm.
content hopefully coming you guys way soon, because it is a lot of what people decide to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said about starting from scratch. Everything that's in the office is because of you. You're not going in trying to fix systems that aren't as clean as you'd like them,
Mhm.
or create new systems. It's everything comes down to how you have shaped the practice, shaped your culture. So yeah, I definitely think it's important that we kind of circle back and really brush up on some of the startup content.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, some of the lackluster aspects of season 2, was it, or 3? I
I think
think
it was three.
it was three.
Just three.
Season two is a good one,
Mhm.
actually. So I think some of the lackluster aspects of that were really due to a lack of enthusiasm too. Like, how good the season is really is a reflection of how excited we are about the topics. And at the time, I don't think either George nor Richard were really um, super excited about it. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. You listen to more of that than I did, to be honest. But I think it'll be good to have some people on here that are actually fired up about it and can really speak from passion, because I think that that's what we do. I don't think we ever really talk about things that we don't care about on here. So yeah, no, it'll be really interesting. It'll be kind of nice to have some other people fill it in for us, because lately it's been pretty busy on our
It
end.
really has.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
and as the listeners know, we're also juggling our time with our mastermind groups. So we currently have up until recently, we have had the pre-owner mastermind group, and Payton has also been heading up the student mastermind group, and we are actually combining the two. Funny thing happened with that. So we kind of planned for the student mastermind, one of their three calls in the month would be to sit in on the pre-owner mastermind calls, and they would just be sort of voyeurs in our calls. Like, it would just be me talking to some pre-owner dentists about things, and the students would just kind of be off in the background. They would take their notes and stuff. And what we found out was, they came in and they had amazing things to say and brought up like really great points and had really good conversations. And several of the members are actually sort of had been transported over from the task force group coaching program. So a lot of them were already kind of mind ready, as we like to say. And we just realized that, like, pre-owners are pre-owners, right? And like the share practices audience are like really high level business speakers, and they love talking about these things, and they're really passionate about it. It doesn't really matter whether they're students or dentists. So we've actually kind of combined the offerings, and we have student pricing and dentist pricing and everything, but it's all sort of wrapped up into one thing. And so everybody gets an equal dose of myself and Payton and Matt and George, and we actually had one with Alex a couple weeks ago that was really fantastic. So that's taken up a good bit of our time, but I think it's been really awesome. How's your experience been?
Yeah, it's been super cool. Yeah, like you were saying before, so we initially did have the two separate offerings, and they were definitely awesome in their own right. They both provided a lot of value, just both filled of really top-notch people, just really motivated, really looking forward into the future. And I think what we kind of realized, I know kind of the moment in my head where the light bulb went off was, I asked the students, I was like, hey guys, like, I'm going to present on what you guys want to hear. I'm not going to give you guys, just a list of topics that is generated that you guys have no say in. Like, that's stupid. I'm obviously going to give you guys what you want. So I just asked, I was like, all right, what do you guys want to hear? And I think probably 7 out of the 8 topics they told me were all pre-owner topics. They were like,
right,
how do I do a mailer? How do I position myself to, be ready to lend when I'm looking for a practice? Like all these things that are pre-owner questions. So I figured, why are we trying to do the same thing in 2 different places? Why don't we just combine them? We can have more minds thinking on the same different classic, the same topics. And yeah, I'm just really excited. So that's just a recent thing that we've done here in the last month. So I'm just very curious to see how that progresses as we move forward.
Yeah, and I think that philosophically it really lines up with how we think about pre-ownership, right? I mean, whether you're a D1 or a D4, maybe you're not even in school yet, or you're a dentist that's been out for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, you're a pre-owner all the same, right? Like, you don't have a practice, but you want one. And we really found that, the interests and the subjects that aligned for those people were pretty much all the same. So, for me, I don't believe in just categorizing yourself as a student and letting that, sort of be a hedge against what you can aspire to be and the hands that you can shake and the sort of conversations you can be having. So it's really cool to have, so many students that just they have their 5-10 year vision, and they want to talk about it as if they're ready to practice right now, even if they're just sitting through sim lab lectures. So yeah, I think it's great, and it's growing, and the calls are rolling along, and they're just going really well. So I've just been super happy about it, super grateful to be in this position. But yeah, other than that, so Payton, it's been kind of a little while since we've had a riff between the two of us, and I think that the Share Praxis audience, the TPO audience, would be kind of curious to know what's going on in your life and how things have progressed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like first thing we need to clear the air on was the original riff that Tyler and I had. It was supposed to open with the popping of a tab on a can. We thought that would be
Oh Jesus!
see Tyler. You guys can't see Tyler, but he's visibly mad.
Payton, keep
we
talking. Keep
yeah
talking.
yeah. So we're supposed to open up with the episode like that. We feel like it'd be kind of fun, instead of hearing one of our voices, just nice little sound effect. And since we don't have any music, we were like, this will be perfect. And what happened was when Tyler and I went to go listen to the episode when it aired, it was just gone. It was nowhere to be found. We were like, oh my gosh, like what happened to the sound? Like it didn't come through. Like surely this is a mistake. And we quickly came to realize that it was, from what I could tell, intentionally edited out of the intro.
Mm-hmm.
So that I really lost my train of thought because I was so intensely into that. But it's
Yep, I got you. No problem. Hold on just a second.
see that would have been so good. Just
Crisp,
open the
huh?
episode with a bang.
Crisp, huh?
Yeah,
If
gosh,
I had a glass with ice in it to pour in, that would have made sense. But it's a
like
beer, and that
the
wouldn't
little
make
like bubbly
sense.
sound when you pour it in
Yeah,
ice.
with like
Oh
the
yeah,
Coke thing. Yeah, I figured we talked about this before. If we just throw this in the middle of the episode, like our editors don't listen to the middle of the episode, it's just the beginning, they're not going to catch that. So hopefully that stays in.
if that goes away, then I'm giving up. This is not worth it.
I'll figure something out.
I
I feel like we're on Dental Friends with Benefits.
Yeah, we're fluid here. We go both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, yes, you were asking just update about my life.
Yes,
Is
of course.
that okay? Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked there. Um, but yeah, so I am, kind of coming in on halfway through my spring semester of D3. And this semester, honestly, has been a ton better than last semester.
Really?
We, despite still being at limited capacity with all of the virus things going on, I just feel like this sounds ridiculous, but I like actually kind of know what I'm doing this semester, which is nice. It's a good feeling.
Good.
And like when it comes to, things, whether it's scheduling patients or, reaching out to your scheduler, which Tyler doesn't have a scheduler, which is, it's also a hot button topic there.
You're looking at him, buddy.
But yeah, so this semester has just really been awesome. It kind of feels like I'm turning a corner a little bit as far as seeing patients, just getting more comfortable around with things in dentistry. So it's been really nice. One thing that has still not changed is the amount of tests that I have. Those numbers are still pretty high, but I'm looking to improve on those things next semester. So yeah, that's kind of been my experience in school as of late. Definitely good, definitely improving.
Where are we in our practice search?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. So I don't want to say that I've been dropping the ball here because that's not what we're trying to put out here. But yeah, I sent out my magazine about I would say 6 months ago. I did have one opportunity that you guys might have heard about, our fake anonymous episode, which was fantastic.
We got some really good feedback from that. Complete train wreck.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said on that episode, I didn't end up following through with that one. It was just a really big practice, and I felt like I wanted something that had a lot of growth potential, and to me, this one just didn't fit that criteria. So,
well,
respectfully declined on that one.
Yeah, if I can interject. So I think that that brings up a point that's probably pretty fresh in a lot of listeners' minds. So, when last we had on George for the anniversary episode that you unfortunately were not there for, one thing that we kind of talked about was, the old school mantra of buying the biggest practice you can finance. We don't really think the same way about it anymore because we understand growth potential in practices. And your practice was a great example of one that was already pretty maxed out. I think it was doing somewhere north of 2 or 1.8 million or
Yes,
something like that, right?
it was 1.7 with one doc, two hygienists. So
Yeah, right. So like, it was already being stretched pretty thin, and you were about to come in there and not be able to do 5-minute crown preps and not be able to meet that kind of production level. And there was not really going to be any growth or, equity expansion to, justify all this debt that you were taking on. So you're just going to be kind of upside down with that. And, if that opportunity had been for, something more in the region of 800 to a million and, two hygienists and one doc, and there's enough capacity to grow out, then maybe it would have been a much different story. So in terms of, what is a big practice, right? Like you can't just put a number on it or, be just a production number and say, oh, that's a big practice. No, that's a big doc that's like putting out a lot of production, and it's already, being milked pretty dry. And we were able to identify that for you. And I think it's important because like, really, I think we were both sort of romanced into that. When you were first telling me about it, I was like, man, like that's gold. Like that's it, right? And as
hmm
we kept on talking about it, I was like, man, like this is good. This is really good. And then we really sat down with the numbers and thought about what it was really going to look like. And all of a sudden it was like every detail was like a red flag.
hmm Yeah, it was like you said, exactly like that. It was good up until a point, and then it reached a
Yeah.
point where everything after that was like another little ding. It's like, ooh, that kind of hurt. Oh gosh, like, yeah. So it did get to a point where it just, to me, wouldn't make sense. Maybe if you had someone that was a really really high producer, they just were very proficient at high end procedures that could make up the production that he was doing, then maybe it would have made more sense. But for someone like me, fresh out of school, that's probably not the best move.
Yeah. And like, be that as it may, it even for that person, it still would have been better if it were, 8 to maybe 1.2 or something like that you could
Oh,
have
for
grown
sure.
from.
Yeah.
And that really all that comes down to, and the reason we see opportunities like that, and I put opportunities sort of a quotation mark, is like because dental practices aren't valued like businesses are, right? Like you're not really buying a business that's going to have this sort of like, generally when you're valuing a business, like you can look at its sort of profit margins, and like it's the service or the product that sort of defines like what kind of money you're looking at for the debt you're taking on. But when it's a dental practice, more often than not, because of the way that they're being valued, it really has to do with the doctor that exists there, and you're the thing that's changing. So you're buying into a business, but you're buying someone else's business. As a proxy for yourself. I mean, that doesn't really make sense. I know the way I said it just sounds weird, but
But I know
it
where you were going with it. Like
right,
it
right,
made sense in a vacuum.
right. Like you're doing away with what is making that practice work right now, and you're putting yourself in there. And ideally, you want to be able to extract more out of that practice than the person that was there before. But yeah, that just has to do with the crazy way that practices are valued. And just it doesn't make sense, but it's what we have to work with. It's sort of a double-edged sword, right? Like you can have situations like that where something might look good but really isn't for you. But then there's other situations that a lot of people kind of overlook, and they actually tend to be like total gems, like diamonds in the rough. And so it takes having that sort of awareness and perspicacity to like see through that and know what a good opportunity looks like. And I think we've done a pretty good job of helping people outline that. So happy to have done it, and I'm happy you didn't pull the trigger in the wrong practice.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it's one of those things where could I have got into it and could it have worked? Maybe. Like I could have made it work, but would it have been the most straightforward, ideal path to get to where I want to go? Absolutely
No,
not.
no,
So
and you got time. You
yeah,
got time. So
exactly. Oh my gosh, and that's that's honestly like my biggest what I have on my side the most right now is time.
right.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Um, as of right now, I wouldn't say that I'm actively searching for something, but here in the near future, I'm probably going to send out another round of a mailer. I'm not sure if it'll be a magazine this time. It might just be a standard mailer. We'll see on that. And then just reaching out through other avenues as well, whether it's sales reps in the area, brokers. Obviously, that'd be probably more towards the tail end of my fourth year, maybe kind of halfway through.
Yeah, they're not talking to you right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to get shut down that hard right now. I don't know
Rejection
if
stuff, man.
my
Rejection stuff.
self-esteem doesn't need that. But yeah, so I'm not pushing super hard right now for it, but I'm definitely in my back, in kind of the back of my mind, just trying to plan out once I start getting into my fourth year, what I'm going to do to reach out to different people to ultimately source opportunities for me after graduation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's all you can do. And I think that, you say time is in your corner, and you're right. And that's because, you were starting on this stuff. I mean, were you into it like D1, or was it mostly just like D2? And that's when you were taking all the notes and stuff?
I got into share practices D1.
Okay.
I think it wasn't until actually, yeah. D1 is when I started taking notes on it.
There you go. So, I mean, yeah, it just comes back to like, stop waiting. If it's something you want to do, just go ahead. And having time in your corner is like just so important, because you have the flexibility to be able to look through these opportunities and know that there's going to be another one eventually, because you just have so much time on your hands. So start now.
That's exactly. And I think with a lot of people who are like, how early is too early for a mailer? And it's not like you send a mailer and like you can never send a mailer again. Like that's not how it works. So if you send one out early and you don't get the response that you want, big deal. Right. I mean, it's just time, which I know that probably won't land too well with everyone. But like, at the end of the day, it was just your time that you spent on sending it out.
It's your time and money that may seem like a lot now, depending on your situation, but ultimately it's a drop in the bucket, right? Like, we're talking about the journey to you owning a profitable business that does, $1 million a year, and you're making several $100,000, and like, you're trying to do things to get yourself into that situation. And the worst that could happen when you send out these mailers is maybe you spend, God, I don't know what people's costs are on these things. I mean, it could be $150, it could be $400. You may be out that, but I mean, that's the worst that can happen, right? So exactly. Like I don't know if there really is a time that's too soon. There might be times where your response rate might be 1%, and it's going to be like a sort of vague email about you may find the right practice, but will it be fulfilling? Like Payton.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We talked about that on here.
Yeah, I don't know if we did, but I have a great follow up to this actually.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so give the background in case we haven't talked about it before, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to pull up the email, but basically what happened was I sent out a mailer to this doctor, and they responded, and it was generally a no, but they ended the email with it's not a matter of will you be successful, it's will you be fulfilled. And that was like a quotation, and then he like signed off. And so honestly, I was like, wow, I didn't know I was signing up for like some philosophical advice here. But I just realized the other day that doctor works at a DSO, because there's
not a bad thing, by the way, but it's just ironic is all.
Yeah, no. So, because there's here in Dallas, there's a couple DSOs that are pretty sneaky about their, being a DSO, if that makes sense. Like, you can't really tell unless you look at a lot of their websites and see, because I kept seeing the same picture of like these two hands like holding some air, like they were just holding their hands out. I was like, man, like there's no way like these people use the same marketing company and they use the exact same picture on every office. So yeah, I just thought that was really funny, because I came to that realization, not more than 2 weeks ago.
But is he fulfilled?
I don't know, man. I feel like if you're posing those questions, maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe this doctor was going through a bit of a crisis themselves, and
heart goes caught him at the wrong time.
Yeah, you should send him a link to the Share Praxis podcast. Maybe he'll find some fulfillment.
Exactly, that's what we're all about here.
Yeah. Cool. So what else you got, Payton? What else is going on?
Let's see what else is going on. Been traveling the last 2 weekends, like Tyler was talking about, and been super awesome. Both dental travel for dental things both times. And it's really nice to be able to get out there, meet people, and face to face events. Like I miss them so much. Like they're just amazing.
Mhm.
And so shameless plug. Super looking forward to the event in July with shared practices. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I've gotten so excited about that. I'm getting messages, every day, every other day. Um, People asking about the event and what it's going to be about, and whether it's worth it or something like that. And everybody wants to ask that question. Like, what am I going to say? No, no, don't go. Of course, it's worth it. Yeah, I'm so excited, not just for the content that's going to be coming out, because I honestly believe that of all the things that we've talked about, like only so much of it has really been proprietary. Like there's some things that I think we've got insight on that a lot of people haven't had, but the analytics based practice management and the sort of metrics that are being looked at, and just thinking about production in a dental practice and growth in a dental practice in a numbers based way. Um, and like I've never seen anything like it before, and I think it's going to be something that really defines what we do. It's going to be kind of a trademark of ours, and I think there's going to be a whole new vocabulary that people use with regards to practice management and how they think about their numbers. And you people won't be talking about like this month's production; they'll be talking about next month's production before it even happens. It's just going to be awesome. But more so than that, more so than the deliverable, like the didactic learning that people are going to be getting, it's just going to be so sick to see members of the Share Practices audience in person, and get to shake hands or bump elbows or whatever we're doing around that time, and get to meet people. I mean, just like that interaction we had this past weekend, we'll be able to have hundreds of those, hopefully. So yeah, no, I'm stoked for it. It's in July. It's my birthday month. It's a couple weeks after I'm getting married. It's a couple weeks before I'm moving into an entirely different situation. So it's just going to be an amazing transitional month, and a lot of things are going to come full circle. So yeah, man, I share your enthusiasm for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and too, like I think my favorite question I get asked is people like, "Oh, like so are you going?" It's like, "Am I going? Of course I'm going.
I'm already there. Yeah,
I'll be there. I'll be there way before you get there. Just
yeah,
be waiting,
yeah.
ready to
We'll
go."
be setting up tables, buddy.
Yeah, those tables are gonna be looking spot on though. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Matt has been working tirelessly at putting this event together and getting our merch together. We're trying to figure out, and actually, you know what? I want to canvas a little bit. If anyone has any suggestions, any past experiences with live events, conferences, concerts, you name it. What is your favorite swag item that you have received? Because we are trying to figure out what is going to be the best thing that we can give people to take
For
from the live event only. What's that?
also for all of you guys that are above the age of 19, swag equals merch. So I just wanted to
Sorry.
clear that up.
Sorry.
I had to throw you under the bus there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Matt uses it too. He doesn't know he's 31 years old yet, but
Yeah, he's an exception for sure.
yeah, I've got some. My fiance has some younger siblings, so I'm pretty up to date on the lingo.
Oh
And
yeah, exactly. You're in the loop for sure.
all the TikToks and whatnot. So yeah, so the swag item meaning what is the wearable? We're thinking about tie clips. We're thinking about headbands. We're thinking about wrist things like bracelets and stuff like that. So yeah, if you got a recommended swag item, I want to see it on the Facebook page. DM me, email me, Tyler Share Practice, something like that. We need ideas. We have ideas, but we need votes. We need preferences. I want to see what people want.
Something about me really likes the posting of it on our Facebook page, just without any context. I don't know why. I just feel like I really like the sound of that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, just say one thing. Sash.
Yeah, and like,
Shoot.
good chance is George won't listen to this. He'll have no idea. He's like, what is going on? Like, why is our Facebook page just a bunch of random items?
Correction. There is no chance that George is going to listen to this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be great. I'm actually really looking forward to this now.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, on a more serious note, we talked a lot about it already, but no, I think this is going to be a recurring event that people are really going to be dying to go to. I mean, currently, when you ask about business CE, different things come up like Productive Dentist Academy and Breakaway and all these other things. And those are all great courses and great resources. And I've consumed some of them myself. And having done so, and I've already seen the content for the analytics-based practice management. Like I know that this is going to have an edge on everything. So I have no problem creating really high expectations for the course because I'm not the one presenting it, but it really is going to be pretty sick. But yeah, man, enough about that. I feel like we're doing a lot of promo, but I mean, we're both pretty excited. So, and one thing,
do we have time? A quick little update on Tyler's life, like just ever so slight.
No,
is that?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk a little bit about what's going on in my life. So let's see. I mean, I kind of already talked about it in the update, I think, but yeah. So I'm just going through, my last semester of dental school. At least I hope it is. It has been kind of a roller coaster. Really, I've been doing a whole lot of traveling since the beginning of the year. I probably shouldn't brag about that, but I'm vaccinated. It's cool. So we've had our quarterly meeting. I've been to the implant symposium. I'm going to be going to the implant pathway full arch course. I'm going to Tallahassee this next weekend, and so consequently, I was talking to you today about it. When I'm like leaving for the weekends and like taking off a Friday or a Thursday or whatever, when I come back to school, I'm absolutely slammed. Like I'm going into school at like 5 a.m. and trying to get lab work done. Then I got clinic all day, and then I'm trying to go to the gym after that because of Huge Boys. I don't know if anyone knows about Huge Boys on here. I probably shouldn't talk about it, but no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. It's tied up. It's Loctite. Throw away the zipper. And then we have these calls and stuff. So I've been absolutely slammed. But as far as school is concerned, a lot of things are wrapping up for me there, thankfully. I definitely understand what you mean by feeling like you've gotten more comfortable. Like every day I'll do something and I'm like, man, I remember when that was really, really hard. Like today, I had an afternoon appointment and I saw a patient for the first time, and maybe not everyone can appreciate how this is because I know different schools operate differently. But it was the first time I saw a patient. I did what's called a D0006. It's a transfer exam. I see the patient, and I take the records and like I'm confirming their odontogram. And she's got like a parlous over 14. She's got 2 fillings that need to be done over here. So I got to make like an endo consult. We got to do an ortho consult. We got to get updated bite wings, PAs. I do the fillings and then I give her a prophy and then we take impressions and then I take some clinical photos. And we're bouncing all over the place. And we got it all done. And I basically finished the patient, like all that she needed to have done was done. And I'm now like referring it like a crown she's got to do for a competency to like a friend of mine. And like I did all of this in like an afternoon. And it was kind of insane. Like I had like 13 codes completed for the day. And it's just awesome to like finally be in a place where I feel comfortable and I feel like whatever needs to get done, I can do it. I know exactly how to do it. I know where I need to go for things. And it's just a special feeling. And I now feel totally prepared to go into practice and in 4 hours make like $20.
Oh my gosh. Not expecting that turn. That was incredible.
Yeah. It'd be more than $20, but
yeah. No,
it's like $20 per hour. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
When I said I was getting comfortable, I didn't mean I was getting that comfortable. Yeah. But still, yeah, I feel like at this point I just live my life in Axiom codes, which is fine. Yeah. That's really awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, despite being, having non-existent, productive weekends, that you're still getting it all done and then everything's, kind of winding down. It's an exciting place to be.
Yeah, man. And I'm going to go, I just signed up for my part 2 mannequin boards. Then I'm going to be taken in North Carolina in lieu of my live patient boards that Georgia actually requires. I kind of realized that like that was really not going to work out because logistically it was just being a nightmare. And, I won't need a Georgia license for the, foreseeable future. So, just going to go off and get that done and get licensed. Hopefully, if not on the first try, I'll get it on the second try. And then kind of be preparing things for my big move to Arizona, which is like super exciting. And, I don't think I can give too many details about that opportunity now. But I'm really happy to be moving out to the Mecca and be a little bit closer to Share Praxis headquarters and bring my talents out to South Beach, as they say. So it's not exactly a beach. There's some man-made beaches there.
Bring my talents out to Arrowhead Ranch. Do people say that? Is that? I feel like that could just flow right off the tongue.
Yeah, they do now. But yeah, man. I mean, it's really cool to be coming up to this stage in my career, and it's funny. Like, I feel prepared, but I know I'm not really. Like, if prepared means I go in and I feel super comfortable and it's like a great day, and the first few months are just going to be a breeze, then no, I'm not prepared. Like, I know it's going to be an onslaught. But I've just never been more excited to just pull my hair out. Because I don't know, like I've started to get this feeling that it's just time, even with COVID and all the reduced capacity and everything. Like, I just feel like it's time. There's still so much to learn, and you're a student for your entire career. And one thing that was said at the conference this past weekend is, as soon as you stop thinking you're a student, as soon as you stop learning, you might as well hang it up, right? And I'm just at a point where I'm no longer putting this arbitrary line in the sand of, oh, I need to learn this and this and this and this, and then I can go be a dentist, and then I can go work, right? Like, I'm at the point now where I just feel like it's just that time to go for it and kind of learn as I go. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be feeling that way soon enough. I don't know.
I'm going to be living vicariously through you. I'm just going to be on the other, waving from the other side.
Oh, I'll be giving you plenty of updates in FOMO because I've had to go through it during my journey here at Share Practices.
Oh, gosh.
I've watched three people graduate in the Share Practices ecosystem. Clay was brought on as a D3, Aaron as a D4. And when I first came on with George, he was a late D3. So I saw all of them graduate, and I saw all of them go out and make changes in their lives and become totally different people, and let the money get to their heads and forget all the little people. So I'm just really, really ready to do that and get really full of myself and be really condescending towards dental students. I just can't wait.
Yeah, we don't even need to say that was sarcastic. That you took it so far that it's not even up for debate.
Don't be so sure. Give it a few months, but we'll see.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no. In summary, I mean, it's just life is good, man. I mean, it's crazy, but I'm here for the chaos. I know it's what I asked for. I'm just really happy to be doing it. Really happy to be here, and yeah, no, I think this has been a really good recap, and I'm glad that you can come on, Payton. It sounds like you're making some really good progress, and you're definitely one of the most, I like the word auspicious, to the point where people make fun of me for it, but you're one of the most auspicious D3s in the world right now. And it's just super awesome to have you on here. And, you always bring on energy and spirit and lots of knowledge, and just really happy to be doing the show with you. And I don't know where it's going to be in the next year and what things look like, but I'm sure you'll still be along for the ride, and so will I.
It's all about learning from the best, man. So I really, really appreciate you. Yeah. Everything you've done for me.
All right, cool. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed us. I appreciate your patience and sitting through us just kind of shooting a breeze and popping tabs. And I really hope that makes it to the final edit. But yeah, thanks so much. And, we'll be having a more, traditional episode, I'm sure. Next week is we got some stuff in mind, but you'll just have to see that. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll be talking to you guys next week. Hey everyone, I hope you really enjoyed that episode. Another riff between myself and Payton. We just forgot to mention one thing that Payton and I are going to be offering here is for those that are interested in the pre-owner mastermind, be you dentists or students, reach out to us, Tyler at Share Practices or Payton at Share Practices. And I think we'll also have a link on our website where you can set up a Calendly link for a 10-15 minute call with your interest in the mastermind. We'll kind of see if you're a good fit. We're really excited to bring on some more people into the fold. We're having a lot of fun and learning a lot of great stuff. So hit us up, and we hope to hear from you.